Okay, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call like Howard, Bashim Yahshua, Bashim, Kakodash. All right. Good morning to our apostles, to this true peace activity to the elect. Right. So, as a virtuous virgin is tight and right, so is the entrances, so are the entrances to the world to come, man. All right. So tight. This thing's so tight. That only one man go in at a time, man. All right. Just like the analogy. That's why it says in Exodus, the 34th chapter. All right. It says what? It says, he that openeth the matrix belong to the Lord. Exodus 34, right about the 19th verse. Whosoever openeth the matrix belong to me. The first thing, male, whether that be a human, cattle, whatever, that belongs to the Lord, the firstborn. So, as I did the lesson about the firstborn yesterday, it's an add to it. See, we add to our lessons, build upon the lessons that we do in the spirit. So, anyways, this is the book of 2nd Ezra 7:1. Now, when I had shalom to are you hopeful elect brothers, all right, in the household of faith. So, yeah, but some break it down. Yeah, that's right. Like the brother said, brother Daniela said, man, that's a title crazy, but some point, hey, well, really, is it crazy? You know, it's just the truth. You know, like the brother said on point. So, anyways, 2nd Ezra 7:1. Now I had made an end of speaking these words. There was sent unto me the angel, which was sent unto me the night before, and he said unto me, get up, Ezra, and hear the words I have come to tell thee. And I said, speak on, my God, my power. Then he said, put the case, the entrance is narrow and like a river. Yeah, like a woman, you know, narrow, virgin. Yeah, so who came to look onto the sea? Our Lord Yahushua. And he went through the straight and narrow so he could see the bride. See, the Lord went through the conditions. He said, the scripture tell you he was tempted in all points such as we are. I tell you, Hebrews 7. Tempted in all points such as we are. Hebrews 4 as well. For we do not have Hebrews 4 and let's see this real quick. Hebrews 4 and 14. It says, seeing that we have a great high priest that has passed on to the heavens, Yahushua, the Son of the Most High Yahweh, let us hold fast our profession. All right, like Leonidas said, what is your profession? All right. For we have not a high priest which cannot be touched with the feeling of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted like as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly onto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace and help in the time of need. Yeah, the Lord did great miracles with boldness in the spirit, just like the Apostle Paul did, because they believed. It takes great boldness to walk on water, man. All right, to walk on water, you know what I'm saying, to build up, raise up people from the dead, you know, and all these different things. Take it, Sean, brother, you want it done. Like I say, all you brothers, brother Mashak, Sean, all you brothers. Brother Hop. But like I said, man, it takes great boldness to walk on water, to turn water into wine, do all these different things, because without faith it's impossible to please him. So that boldness goes into the faith. So going back 2nd Ezra 7:5, who then could look into the sea, that's the people, and rule the people? If he went not through the narrow, how could he come into the broad? Yeah, you gotta go through you gotta catch hell to become a king. You know, to become a god, to be a ruler, you got the Lord put us through all this bondage so we could be rulers, righteous rulers, man. You understand what I'm saying? All right. So we could be righteous rulers, man. You got to go and be a slave. You got to go work jobs that are, you know what I'm saying, minimum wage. You got to fucking work at the warehouse or work at this or work at that or work as a fucking mechanic. Or you know, these are jobs that Esau and them, you know what I'm saying, the elites would never fucking do. All right. But we have to be abased in order to abound. All right. So that's the narrow, man. Catching hell, watching your mama struggle on all kind of food stamps and all this other shit. You know, that's you know, going to your enemy for the one of all things. That's the narrow. Going into slavery on ships, whereby the Lord spake unto us. You know. So it says the 6th verse. There's also another thing: a city is built and set upon a broad field, and it's full of good things, all good things. The entrance thereof is narrow, tight and right, like a virgin, man. And it's set in a dangerous place to fall, like as if there were a fire on the right hand and on the left, the deep water. And the virgins are going to inherit the kingdom. The wise virgins, man. You see, the Lord even described us as virgins, man. You know, it said Matthew 25, 5 were foolish and 5 were wise, man. You know, so the Lord even described us as virgins. You know, the foolish virgins. Then you got the wise virgins. Also tell you that in Revelation 14. You know, the wise virgins and the foolish. It tell you about the 144,000 that were virgins without fault. You know, so the virgins are going into the straight gate, into the narrow. We tell you in Matthew 7, entering at the straight gate. And what's that, 12, 13 verse? They're entering into the straight gate. The virgins are entering into the straight gate as if they was going into a virgin. You see, one man going there at a time. So it's going to go on its head. So it says, right on the right hand, a fire, and on the left, a deep water. A tightrope, balancing act. 8 verse. And only one path between them both, even between the fire and the water, so small that there could but one go therein at once. If this city now were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he should never see, this is our inheritance, the world. But first and foremost, start with the world of Israel. That's the city that's built, the kingdom of heaven. All right, that the Lord said, "Go prepare a place for you." But then He also said, "The kingdom of heaven is within us," right? Because that kingdom is going to be unleashed when we're changed. Our bodies are changed when we come down. You see, so that thing gonna be unleashed when we come down back off from the ships. All right, which that's linked up right with Revelation 15. It said they sang the song of Moses. All right, having harps in their hands, and they look down upon the sea of glass, mingled with fire. All right, that's the virgins looking down upon the destruction of America and the devil, so-called white man, and then being brought down on the earth to reign as kings and priests with the Lord. You see what I'm saying? So so if this city, all right, 2 Corinthians 7:9, were given unto a man for an inheritance, if he never shall pass the danger set before it, how shall he receive this inheritance? Yeah, man, you can't handle a virgin without experience, man. A woman, you gotta go through danger. You gotta go through heartbreaks and shit. You gotta lose. You gotta become a man of experience, man. You can't be fucked. That's why women don't like a 16-year-old. You know what I'm saying? Unless you filthy rich, they can use you. But other than that, they like a 42-year-old man. Cause that man got experience. You see? He got money. He got, you know what I'm saying, bro? They looking up to older men. That's a practice of the ancient world. Man, 50 years old getting with a 15-year-old. Yep, that's right. Because, hey, that's been going on throughout all history. Usually in school, you know what I'm saying? Them little high school bitches, they was all messing with 20, 30-year-olds, man. You see what I'm saying? It's all the spirit. That's the natural course of things. So we're going to be made men of experience, man. Going through the hell and the tribulation of America. And, you know, whatever other captivities we've been through, you know, but, you know, namely Babylon, because that's the main one that's mentioned. But, you know, you have all these other captivities been through. So all these captivities have taught us lessons, you know. All right, the Assyrian captivity, the Egyptian captivity. All right, the Roman captivity, the Greek captivity, which like I said, is all mentioned in the scriptures. But the worst one was the one in America. You know, which America, the way of the West, you know, whatever, has extended its tentacles, its demonic tentacles throughout all the West, the UK, the Germany. It's all the same shit. You know, it's just that Babylon's the whore, the mother of harlots. So it's all these kin that are wrapped into one aforementioned. So if you should never go through the narrow, or that if you never pass through the danger that's set before, how shall he receive his inheritance? I said, it is so, O Lord. Then he said unto me, even so is Israel's portion. Even so is the men of Israel's portion, man. The elect. Even so is their portion. Because for their sakes I made the world. I didn't make the world for the white man. I didn't make the world for the white man. The Lord, he didn't make the world for the white man. All right. The Lord did not create the heavens and the earth for the so-called white man to enjoy it. The Lord made the heavens and the earth for us, man. All right. And he's gonna give it back to us. In a perfect state, the earth shall yield its strength to us. Like a virtuous virgin, man. She gives her strength, her greatest abilities. She gives her utmost to a righteous man, a husband, a man that actually take care of her, man. Nurture her through the spirit. You know, give her guidance, not beat the shit out of her and be a demon. You know, like you niggas of today, like you P. Diddy's. You know, you turn these girls into Cassies, man. You know, that's what you niggas do. You get with these women, you know, and you start beating the shit out of them, giving them mollies and drugs, and you know, that's why they don't yield their strength. That's why the women are not fruitful and they're not multiplying like that, you know, like they're supposed to. They're just bringing forth bastards and you know, STDs and court drama, you know, and more social media embarrassments. All right, because you got Pookies and Keishas, you know, and Esau all running amok. All right, so that's why those men that have gone through the straight, the narrow, the trials, the fiery trials of Yahushua, the acceptable men that are tried in the furnace of adversity, those are the men that's gonna see the bride, that's gonna see the kingdom on the first go around. It's gonna rule. It's gonna rule with Yahushua, man. As kings and priests, as scripture tell you, as gods, you know, because that's the patience and faith of the saints. So, as a delicate, tender woman, you know what I'm saying? You gotta bleed to get up in there. You know what I mean? You gotta bleed to get up in the kingdom. All right. Same thing. You see how it goes? That's the parallel. That's the what's the word, man? That's the metaphor or similitude, man, if you will, to this whole thing. You know, same thing. We got to go through the narrow in order to see the wide, man. You know, we can't do this. We can't do this without being able to see. You know what I'm saying? The harsh, the straight gate. We can't enter into a kingdom. We can't be good rulers. We can't have a heart. You know what I mean? We can't manage the creation the right way without going through the straight gate, without bleeding. That's why the scriptures tell you, Sirach 2, acceptable men are tried, made in the furnace of adversity. You know. So 2 Ezra 7. Yeah, 2 Ezra 7 and verse 10. And I said, it is so, Lord. Then he said unto me, even so is Israel's portion, because for their sakes I made the world. And when Adam transgressed my statutes, then was my decree. Then is decreed that which is done. All right. When Adam transgressed my statutes, then was decreed that which was done. That which is now done. When Adam transgressed my statutes, I rejected you, and I put you under the white man. I put you under sin and all these different curses, man. You know. So it says the 12th verse. And when they were interests, then were the interests of this world made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. They are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. That's this world, you know. Because to enter into the world to come, you gotta go through the peril, the pain. All right, very painful. Just like when you deal with a virgin, you know, when you crack open the virgin, or you bust open the hymen, there's a process that takes place with bleeding. A lot of times you can't even do nothing with the girl, man. Y'all can't even, you know, you gotta wait, or you might have to, you know, try a few times because it's too tight, too much bleeding going on. So the same thing goes with the kingdom, you know, too tight, man. That every man can't make it through at once. That's why it says one man at a time. So it says the interests of this world were made narrow, full of sorrow and travail. There are but few and evil, full of perils and very painful. Yeah, just like dealing with a virgin, very painful at first. All right. For the interests of the elder world were wide and sure and brought forth immortal fruit. The interests of the elder world of this world were like a whore, you know. If then they that live labor not to enter into these straight and vain things, they can never receive those that are laid up for them. You can't receive the kingdom without going through what the Lord went through. Again, that's why I read Hebrews 4:14, 15, 16. He was tempted at all points such as we are, yet without sin. Now, therefore, why disquietest thou thyself, seeing that thou art but a corrupt man, and why art thou moved, whereas thou art but mortal? This goes right back to where it says, be not over righteous. You know, don't beat yourself up, or you know what I'm saying, you got you got wicked thoughts or whatever, or whatever the fuck, you weigh yourself down. Oh, I ain't right, I'm gonna die, I ain't shit, I ain't did that. Look, man, the scripture tell you, let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Second Ezra 16, 74, 75 on down. Let not your iniquities weigh yourself, weigh you down. Neither let them lift themselves up. You know, woe to them that are bound, you know, with their sins as a chain. It says Ecclesiastes 7:16. There's a link right back up with 2 7:15. Why disquietest thyself, seeing thou but a mortal man? Right. It says, be not over righteous over much. Ecclesiastes 7:16. Neither make thyself over wise. Why shouldst thou destroy thyself? Be not over much wicked. Neither be thou foolish. Why shouldst thou die before that time? Yeah, it's all balanced. All right. It's all balanced. See, we got to be in this world. We got to use this world, not abuse it. You know, we have to go off sometimes in order to learn. Scripture tell you a righteous man falls 7 times, gets back up again. But the wicked fall into mischief. You know, the wicked are going to fall into mischief. So it says, it is good. That's not to say that you just, you willingly just go off, because the scripture tell you the Lord didn't give a man license to sin. But, all right, he know that you was going to fall short anyways. So that's why he gave grace, by making you of the elect already before the foundation of the world. So now it says, be not overmuch wicked, neither be thou foolish. Why shouldst thou die before thy time? It is good that thou shouldst take hold of this. Yeah, also from this withdraw not thy hand, for he that feareth the Most High Yahweh Shai shall come forth of them all. Yeah, he that feareth the Lord Yahweh Shai shall what? Enter into the rest, So now, real quick, going back to 2 Ezra 7 and 16. All right, I read the 15 verse 16. Why hast thou not considered in thy mind this thing that is to come, rather than that which is present? Then answered I and said, O Lord, that bears rule, thou hast ordained in thy law, that the righteous should inherit these things, but that the ungodly shall perish. Nevertheless, the righteous shall suffer straight things and hope for wide. For they that have done wickedly have suffered the straight things, and yet shall not see the wide. And he said unto me, there is no judge above the Most High Abba Shemashah, and none that have understanding above the highest. For there be many that perish in this life, because they despise the law of the Most High Abba Shemashah that is set before them. For the Most High have given straight commandment to such as came, what they should do to live. And when they came, even as they came, Salakim, and what they should do to observe to avoid punishment. Nevertheless, they were not obedient unto him, but spake against him and imagined vain things, and deceived themselves by their wicked deeds, and knew not his ways, but his law have they despised and denied his covenants. And his statutes have they not been faithful, and have not performed his works. Therefore, Ezra's for the empty are empty things, and for the fool are fool things. Behold, the time shall come that these tokens which I have told thee shall come to pass, and the bride shall appear, and she shall come forth, and she coming forth shall be seen that now is withdrawn from the earth. It says, and whosoever is delivered from the foresaid evil shall see my wonders. For my son Yahushai shall be revealed with those that be with him, and they that remain shall rejoice within 400 years. After these years shall my son Yahushua die, and all the men that have life. Yeah. So the Lord was spoken of in the Apocrypha. All right. The Lord was mentioned, the coming of the Lord. Show you that this is canon, you know, showing you that this is good. This is kosher. All right. Not like them other books that speak about hell and all this other shit. All right. And the world shall be turned into the old silent 7 days, like as in the former judgments, so that no man shall remain. And after 7 days, the world that yet awaketh shall not be raised up, and that shall die that is corrupt. And the earth shall restore those that sleep in her, and so shall the dust, those that dwell in silence in the secret place, shall deliver those souls that were committed unto them. Right. Because some people, end up being raised up from the graves when the Lord was on the scene. You know. All right, so that's what that's talking about. So, anyways, 33rd verse. And the Most High shall appear on the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away. That's jumping to the end, the times that we're in now. All right. And the Most High shall appear on the seat of judgment, and misery shall pass away, and the long suffering shall have an end. But judgment only shall remain, truth shall stand, and faith shall wax strong. And then the work shall follow, and the reward shall be showed, and the good deeds shall be a force, and wicked deeds shall bear no rule. Then said I, Abraham prayed first for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness, and Yahushua after him for Israel in the time of Achan and Samuel. This is Joshua. All right, the word for Jesus right here, Joshua. 2 Ezra 7:37. And Samuel and David for the destruction, and Solomon for them that should come to the sanctuary, and Elias for those that receive rain, and for the dead that he might live, and Ezekiel, the people in the time of Sennacherib, for many. Even so now, seeing corruption is grown up, and wickedness increased, and the righteous have prayed for the ungodly, wherefore shall it not be so now also? And he answered me and said, this present life is not the end where much glory doth abide. Therefore have they prayed for the weak, and the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for it to come. For wherein this corruption is past, and temperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and truth is sprung up. Yeah, the day of doom shall be the end of this time. That's why Daniel J call you prophets of doom. The prophets of doom, this and that. Yeah, he's talking about Israel. Talking about the prophets of Israel. All right. Our apostles, your brothers out there is teaching his word. The men that's out there on the streets. All right. Prophets of doom. The day of doom should be the end of this time. What time? 2 Ezra 6 and 9. All right. Jump back to the previous chapter, right? It says what? Esau is the end of the world, Jacob's the beginning of it that followed. So the day of doom shall be the end of this time, the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein this corruption is past, and temperance is at an end, infidelity is cut off, righteousness is grown, and the truth is sprung up. Then shall no man be able to save him that is destroyed, nor to oppress him that have gotten the victory. And nobody's going to be able to oppress us All right, the virgins of the Lord that have gotten the victory. I answered then and said, this is my first and last saying, that it had been better not to have given the earth unto Adam, or else it was given him to have restrained him from sinning. For what profit is it for men now in this present time to live in heaviness, and after death to look for punishment? O thou Adam, what hast thou done? For though it was thou that sinned, thou art not fallen alone, but we are all that come of thee. For what profit is it unto us if there be promised us an immortal time, whereas we have done the works that bring death, and that there is promised us an everlasting hope, whereas ourselves being most wicked are made vain, and that there are laid up for us dwellings of health and safety, whereas we have lived wickedly, and that the glory of the Most High Yahweh Shemashai is kept to defend them which have led a weary life, whereas we have walked in the most wicked ways of all, and that there should be showed a paradise whose fruit endureth forever, wherein is security and medicine. Sith, shall we not enter into it? For we have walked in unpleasant places. That's the straight gate. And that the face of them which have used abstinence shall shine above the stars. But whereas our face shall be blacker than darkness. See, we're using abstinence. That's the virgins. A virgin uses abstinence, man. All right. The virgins use abstinence, man. So it says, for while we lived and committed iniquity, we consider not that we should begin to suffer for it after death. Then answered he me and said, this is the condition of the battle which man that is born upon the earth shall fight. That if he be overcome, he shall suffer as thou hast said, but if he get the victory, he shall receive the thing that I say. For this is the life where Moses spake unto the people while he lived, saying, choose thee life that thou mayest live. Nevertheless, they believe not him, nor yet the prophets after him, nor me, which have spoken unto them, that there should not be such heaviness in their destruction as shall be joy over them that are persuaded to salvation. I answered them and said, I know, Lord, that the Most High is called merciful, and that he have mercy upon them which are not yet come into the world, and upon those that turn to his law, and that he is patient and long-suffering those that have sinned as his creatures. Yeah, because he could have destroyed us, right? 65. And that he is bountiful, for he is ready to give where it needed. We need salvation right now, so that's what we're going to give. And that is of great mercy, for he multiplied more and more mercy to them that are present and that are past, and also them which are to come, which that was ultimately us. For if he shall not multiply his mercies, the world would not continue with them that inherit therein. And he pardoneth, for if he did not sow of his goodness, that which committed iniquities might be eased of them, the 10,000 part of men should not remain living. And being judged, if he should not forgive them that are cured with his word, and put out the multitude of contentions, there should be peradventure very few left in an innumerable multitude. And that's what's going to be left. The wave that's greater than the drop. I mean, the drop is going to be left. All right. The grape of the cluster, not the wave. All right. Set it backwards, you know. So that's the 70th verse. That's the last verse of the 7th chapter. So 2 Esdras 8:1, and he answered me saying, this the Most High have made this world for many, but the world to come but for a few. And I will tell thee a simile to Esdras, as when thou askest the earth, it shall say unto thee, that it giveth much more whereof earth and vessel are made, but little dust that gold cometh of, even so is the course of this present world. There be many created, but few shall be saved. All right. Few shall enter into my rest. All right. There be many created, but few shall be saved. All right. And the Lord gave us strict commandment what man should do to enter into the rest, man. All the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. 2 Esdras 15:4, man. A virgin is faithful, man. She keep herself as a betrothed damsel. And likewise, you know, as the Apostle Paul says, 2 Corinthians 11, hey, we are espoused to the Lord, man. All right. 2 Corinthians 11:1, what to the Most High that you could bear with me a little in my folly, and indeed bear with me. For I am jealous over you with godly jealousy. For I have espoused you to one husband, that I may present you a chaste virgin to Yahweh Shai. All right. A chaste virgin to Yahweh Shai. So that's what we're going to be. We're going to be a chaste virgin to Yahweh Shai, man. A chaste virgin to Yahweh Shai. That's what we're going to be. We're going to be chaste. You know. So, as a virtuous woman is tight and right, you know, such are the entrances of the world to come. Narrow. All right. The straight gate. That's why our Lord told you, gird up your loins like a man, for I require of thee. All right. To enter into life, to enter into the straight gate, to enter into rest, takes blood, sweat, and tears, just like dealing with a virgin. All right. Which on the other side, we're going to have plenty of, man. You know. So with that, call like Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rukakwadash. All right. Those are apostles, peace to you elect. All right. And shalom to the virgins, man. All right. Shalom.